Hey everyone, I was not planning to actually film a video today. Actually, I have a couple I'm editing right now, but this definitely prompted me to want to at least do something real quick, and that is to honor the passing of arguably probably one of the best film composers ever, and that is, unfortunately, now the late Ennio Morricone, who died today, July 6th, depending on when you are watching it. But he did die at the age of 91, so, we should all be so lucky. But boy, what a legacy he leaves behind. He actually did the music for over 500 movies and TV shows. I mean, that is almost hard for me to wrap my head around. He obviously is probably best known for the Sergio Leone Dollars trilogy, Fistful of Dollars for a Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Those are definitely the ones that I think put his music on the map, so to speak, even though he had done a lot of other films before that. And without a doubt, his sort of operatic score for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is definitely the one that just became famous, and it's one of probably ranks up there with one of the most recognized, especially the main themes, sort of one of the most recognizable music pieces, especially ever done for a film. And most of the work he did was obviously in Italy, and that includes a couple films that he worked with Dario Argento, including Bird with a Crystal Plumage, Cat o' Nine Tails, Four Flies on Grey Velvet, and even later on he did like Stendhal Syndrome. He even worked with Lucio Fulci on like Lizard in a Woman's Skin, and one of my favorites as well, Sergio Solima's Revolver, which is a score I absolutely love. I know there's one piece of music Tarantino used in Inglourious Bastards. When it played in the movie, it was probably one of the very few that actually was just like, oh my god, that's from Revolver. And he also obviously worked on so many Hollywood films as well. I mean, even some that maybe he may not be so proud of, but he should be proud of the music he did. For example, like Exorcist 2. The score is actually, especially if you listen to it just on in and of itself, it's an amazing score. And then obviously for John Carpenter's The Thing, which even though there was probably a little bit of tension on there, and from what I understanding, there's no denying that at the end of the day, the score for The Thing is just incredible and so iconic. And it's funny because if you go from like that kind of score to the music he did for like The Mission, for example, which is such a beautiful piece of music, and it's like, this, if you listen to some of his music, it's like the same person can do, this over-the-top operatic one and this very brooding one, and then he goes to this very melodic and beautiful piece. I mean, that's, talk about a range, and that's, I think, what really made him so desirable for people to want him to do the music for their movie, including people like Brian De Palma. He did a couple for Brian De Palma. Again, probably one of the more famous ones is probably his score for The Untouchables, for example, which is also one of my favorites as well. And obviously Tarantino was a huge fan. In fact, one of the few films Tarantino has done that actually has an actual score, not just using music from other films, is obviously The Hateful Eight, where he did get Morricone to do the score, and obviously he won the Oscar for it. Such a talented human being. I mean, arguably, I know for me, he's up there with some of my other favorite composers like Jerry Goldsmith, John Williams, John Carpenter. He will be missed, but at the same time, I mean, that's definitely a life lived in full. So I just want to say thank you, Maestro, for all of your achievements. You will always be remembered.